And we are back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Corsace Closed 2023. This is the match of Whitecat versus Demonical, two titans of their own scenes here. My name is Taikani, and joining me, I believe, a little bit later will be iFlame, but for now, I do believe it is just going to be me casting over this match.
Here for a good 5 minutes at the start.
All right,
Ready for
perfect.
some, there we go. So yeah, it's going to be Whitecat versus Demonical. Obviously, Whitecat is going to be favored heading into this one as the 4th seed, but Demonical, certainly not a bad player by any means. Does have some options in terms of playable picks, I think. There isn't a lot of information to work with, but looking back at qualifier results, Demonical did have some solid scores on the DTs especially, so we'll see if Demonical tries to work with those. And did look solid on the No Mod 2 as well, so some more potential options there. What do you think about Whitecat's picks for this match, Taikani?
I feel like we're going to see a lot of aim coming out from this guy. I mean, Whitecat, one of the best aim players in the world for a reason. I think we're absolutely going to see a lot of aim come out. Obviously, Whitecat good at pretty much everything, really good all-rounder, but I'm foreseeing, the classic No Mod 1, DT1, that kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, especially things, even the HR1 and HD1, I could certainly see being a possibility. And did actually look very good on the streams as well, top scoring No Mod 2 in qualifiers. So while I do think that could potentially be a pick for Demonical, it would be a very scary one. Hard to say what we're looking at for potential bans, though.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Demonical, one of sort of the newer top players in the scene. Obviously, first Corsace Closed. We haven't seen too much of what he does in 1v1. We saw him in the Roundtable 2 qualifier tournament. Even then, it didn't go like crazy far. So there's a lot left to see from Demonical. What we see here.
Yeah, I do think we could very easily see Demonical just ban out hidden maps from the pool. I could see wanting to target the hidden one purely because Whitecat is so good at these aim focus picks. And then probably the HD2 because Monocle is not really a fan of the AR8. I think does tend to prefer the Hard Rock mod over the hidden quite a bit. Now, the only way I could possibly see the HD2 being left open is Demonical could be thinking that Whitecat is also not really known much for an HD2 player. And so if Demonical thinks that Whitecat is going to opt not to pick the HD2 in favor of something else, he may decide to just skip that ban and hope it doesn't come up in the match.
For sure, and we'll see in a second here what those bans are going to be. It's always kind of hard to tell. I don't think these two have played each other in a 1v1 setting before. So it's going to be interesting to see what they go with.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we see Whitecat ban out speed here against Demonical. While Whitecat is certainly not bad at speed by any means, it was, based on qualifier results at least, Demonical's best map by far, especially compared to everything else. So, for the top-seeded players, like, Whitecat, Amrek, Malashevsky even, I feel like the ban strategy in these early rounds tends to be to just target your opponent's strongest points, because most of the high-seeded players can play just about everything in these early stages, and the maps that they really struggle on are going to be few and far between.
For sure. I believe we are just waiting on both players to end up in the lobby.
Yeah, hopefully it shouldn't be too much longer. And you can kind of see it on the screen here. Demonical, unfortunately, just kind of outmatched across the board in every category. So I do think it will be challenging for Demonical to really find a lot of picks, but just gonna have to hope for the best. Hope that Demonical can pull off some big plays. And I think at the moment we're actually waiting on Whitecat now. So
yes, looks like we're just waiting on Whitecat to unlock his invite, so to speak. Let's
Yeah.
we'll get there very, very shortly.
Yeah, you're really going to be hoping not to see any more forfeits. Has been a rough weekend for Boncho issues and forfeits, so we're going to hope for no more of those.
Yeah, and I mean, luckily it is just round of 16 weekend, not like, semifinals, finals, grand finals, where you have all those people, watching. So a little bit lucky.
Yeah, definitely best to have any technical issues dealt with in the early rounds. And hopefully this one can be sorted out fairly quickly for you guys.
All right, both players are now in the lobby. We are going to get into the banning and picking phase here. Now let's see where each player goes, who has first ban, who has first pick. Very, very shortly here. Now Whitecat, very much the higher seeded player, seed 5. There we go. My mic broke.
Oh, yep, you are back, so all good there.
Woohoo!
Can't have both of us dying now.
Well, definitely an advantageous match for Whitecat on paper, but we could see Demonical kind of take it away here. Demonical, a very powerful, sort of slept-on player, I feel.
Yeah, I do think one of Demonical's best skill sets is that while Demonical doesn't quite have the skill cap compared to most of the other players in this tournament, Demonical is generally very, very consistent as a player. So if we do see Whitecat find some unlucky misses, possibly, I mean, due to nerves, due to not being warmed up, something like that, I do think we could see Demonical take some upset points here without a doubt.
For sure, it is very, very likely that something like that could happen. See in just a moment. It is going to be first ban for Whitecat, first pick for Demonical.
I think
keep going out.
Yep, so pretty much as expected, does just want to ban that speed away, that very good skill set for Demonical. Honestly, speed probably the only category where Whitecat does have, or sorry, Demonical does have an advantage. We see the HD2 banned out from Demonical, not wanting to play that hidden, then followed up by the Nomad 6 from Whitecat. So that's going to be the kind of a very gimmicky pick. I guess Whitecat not super comfortable on that one. Demonical, I know, is solid. And there you go. Exactly the bans we predicted out of Demonical, the HD1 and the HD2. So I absolutely love these bans, not letting Whitecat play the hidden aim that he is very, very good at. And we're going to get a DT3 pick from Demonical. I do think this makes sense as well. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Demonical just kind of play through this DT pool as much as possible early on. A DT1 might be a little bit sketchy due to it being a little bit more aim focused into Whitecat. But why don't you tell us a little bit about this map? What can we expect here as we get into this one?
All right, so Masquerade, this is going to be your bit of a sort of gimmicky alt pick. It is AR 10.3. Not going to matter too much with players of this caliber, but of course the high AR is going to be a little uncomfortable if you're not comfortable on alt, and you already see it here. 80% accuracy for Whitecat off that intro. Not the best start for him here. Demonical, meanwhile, taking away already at 40k, 20k advantage over Whitecat. This is mostly going to be your accuracy comfort check.
Absolutely. And, generally when you see early accuracy drops, you would expect those to recover over the course of the match, but not the case so far as Whitecat finds a really big miss. Demonical going to be off to a very significant advantage, nearly double the score of Whitecat so far. And we're into the first really tricky chorus, so it is a little bit concerning that Whitecat has found a miss even before the big chorus, and Demonical is looking really good so far. The accuracy, the combo is there. Does need to hold on for quite a bit longer, though. He is not out of the woods just yet.
100%. But look at that advantage, 100k advantage to the name and climbing really, really fast. Whitecat having found those repeated breaks right before the first ki, not doing so great for me. Has built up some combo, but Demonical just has such a huge advantage, pressing that 99% accuracy as well as an FC. There goes Whitecat again. Demonical's just going to take this one away here.
Yeah, this is going to be a decisive point for Demonical. It's looking like, I mean, we still have half of the map to go. Demonical does find a miss. The problem is Whitecat just doesn't really have any recovery combo. And Whitecat has continued to find chain misses. Yes, the accuracy has recovered a little bit, but it's still a pretty big difference. And at this point in the map with no combo, I don't know that it's really realistic to expect Whitecat to make up 300,000 points here.
I don't think we can expect that at all, even with breaks from Demonical. It's just not going to be enough. The damage has already been done. 448k to 230. Demonical very clearly holding a very comfortable advantage. 98% accuracy as well. Even with Whitecat finally recovering the accuracy, it's just too little, too late. A quarter of the map left is not enough time to make up this huge disadvantage.
Yeah, off to a really good start for Demonical. Looking like it's going to be about a 600k for Demonical, which all things considered is a really good score on this map. It is one of the trickier DT maps, in my opinion. Maybe falling slightly behind the GT4.
Yeah, this one was definitely the right pick for Demonical. I was a little bit worried that this could swing in Whitecat's favor just due to the aim elements, but never mind. It's going to be a very, very clear first point for Demonical right there, getting himself on the board. Which is everything you need against a player as scary as Whitecat.
Yeah. Now, that was Demonical's first pick, though. So that was the pick that you really would hope Demonical is able to win. And he does so. But now Whitecat has the pick, is probably going to go for one of his preferred picks. And should be pretty advantaged on it, whatever it may be. And that's going to be the HD3, so picking the one remaining hidden map that was not banned out by Demonical. This is going to be kind of a more aim control tech focused pick. Definitely a little bit heavier on the aim control, but has some light tech elements as well. And here we go into the hidden three.
100%. This is going to be your hidden flow aim test. Something that Whitecat knows, Demonical's not super comfortable on a hidden. This is absolutely my territory here. Both players holding an SS through that little intro right here, and here come the big sliders. Here comes the stuff that's going to catch these players out. Alright, and here we go into the techier section. Here's where the tapping really comes out, as well as the flow aim. It's not going to be too intense quite yet. We're saving that for a little later in the map. But Demonical finding an early break right there. Whitecat not going to reciprocate it. And now it's going to start to balloon. But as I say that, Whitecat finds a break. Demonical trades it out, though. It's basically just a reset for both players' combo.
Yep, Demonical is going to be pretty happy with that trade, but trade is not good enough for Demonical, unfortunately. It's going to need to find some area to build up a good advantage over Whitecat. This is one of the harder maps in the pool for sure, though. It is very tricky to build up much good combo on it. Whitecat has found a miss, so there's about 100 combo advantage right now. And Demonical is going to slowly work his way back into this match. That score gap is closing ever so slowly, but as long as Demonical can hold this combo, it will go back over in due time.
And holding the combo, he is Demonical, holding that pressing advantage. Slight accuracy advantage, about 120 combo, I do believe, as well. Sorry, no, just 100 combo. Give Demonical the advantage, but he has to hold. And this upcoming section is so tricky on the flow in. Here we go. This is where that control comes out. Don't expect both of these players to have the greatest time. There goes Whitecat, though. That's so big. Demonical already having a combo advantage, going to take it away. Both players breaking right there. Demonical already solidifying an advantage, but a chain miss is going to bring him ever so closer. Another one right there. Now it's just 20k separating these players. Whitecat does have time to bring it back.
Yeah, but Demonical has done the work to build up some score lead here. There is about 10,000 points difference, and Whitecat finds the miss. That's probably going to be it unless we see multiple misses from Demonical at the end, but not going to find them. That's going to be a massive breakpoint for Demonical. Up 2-0 against Whitecat. Not something anyone would have expected here, and things are looking so good for Demonical early on.
Yeah, that early breakpoint is so crucial. As you were saying, when Demonical took that first map, your first pick is the one that's supposed to be the pick you absolutely are guaranteed to win. For Whitecat to lose that is a little scary. He doesn't have his guarantee anymore.
No, he doesn't. And Demonical now has the pick, and I think if you're Demonical, you try and pick your best map remaining, keep the momentum going, see if you can put up a third point against Whitecat here. And it is going to go for the No Mod 5, so there is that other speed pick that Whitecat was not able to ban out. And I think this is a really good pick for Demonical. This is kind of, to me, the last pick in the pool where Demonical should have an advantage over Whitecat on. And so if Demonical can go up 3-0 here, avoid giving back the breakpoint, he's going to be off to a really good lead early on and is going to be in a really good position to get an upset win here.
For sure. All right, here we go. This is going to be your sort of combination of aim and speed. So definitely speed heavy. You have to be comfortable on that kind of deal. Exactly why Demonical picked it. You know, seeing the DT2 ban come out from Whitecat. This is going to be Demonical's next sort of comfort territory here, especially compared to Whitecat. Though Whitecat is holding a very early ag advantage.
Yep, map is, it's not super lengthy, but the accuracy shouldn't matter too much, assuming Demonical can recover. If it does stay at a consistent 3% accuracy difference, that will come into play. But we are into the easier section of the map so far. It does get quite a bit harder in the second half of the map, and that's where we're going to start to see misses. I would not be surprised to see both of these players get through the entirety of the first half without any misses on either side, and they do so. We're into the first low section now. Both players should be able to hold on through this break, and then we are going to be really getting into the map, and that is where both players are going to have to hold on to their nerves.
And we'll see it's getting a little more intense here. This is where the breaks are supposed to come out on this map, but both players holding so strong. Whoever breaks first might just lose themselves the map, honestly, with how both these players are playing. But it is that accuracy advantage for Whitecat that's letting him hold on. 99% accuracy to Demonical's 98.
Yeah,
on the big
accuracy
section here.
Okay, there is a couple more tricky streams at the very end, and honestly, it could come down to that. Demonical has done a good job of keeping the accuracy close, but if we don't see any misses on the ending, Whitecat will just take it. It's a very challenging pattern coming up. Can Whitecat hold on? And it looks like that will be the point for Whitecat. The double FC. Okay, Demonical broke right at the end. But Whitecat getting an FC on Demonical's pick, getting the breakpoint right back. And things are 2-1 now, all evened up in terms of breakpoints.
All right. Whitecat with an early breakpoint of his own, something so big. We saw it could have snowballed for Demonical if he took that breakpoint and just kind of ran with it. But Whitecat finding one right here. It's not going to be too out of reach now.
And Whitecat does have the next pick, so very real possibility Whitecat is going to be able to tie this one right back up. This is the No Mod 2 pick that we discussed at the start of the match. Well, I think Demonical is a very good No Mod 2 player, and so you cannot count him out of this one. Whitecat has looked incredible on streams for quite some time, did top score the No Mod 2 in qualifiers, and so Demonical is up for a very tough map. These players wasting no time at all. We are getting right into the no mod too.
All right, let's go.
This
Demonical already finding a drop, a little bit, not going to be too much, but slight advantage for Whitecat is going to mean a lot here, especially where Demonical's kind of disadvantaged on this pick by default.
This is a very lengthy no mod 2 as well. Whitecat does find a very early miss now, and so Demonical is going to be off to an early lead, but there is going to be lots of time to make up that combo difference. This map is relatively consistent. I would say probably a little bit harder into the second half of the map, so you can generally expect to see some pretty high combos in this first half. And I think those early misses are going to matter a little bit more because it is a lot harder to kind of regain that combo in the second half of the map. And this is kind of the first big tricky stream section. So eyes on Demonical, needs to hold on to this combo advantage over Whitecat for as long as possible.
I do remember this map is actually pretty long.
Yep.
There's a lot of space for mistakes to be made, meaning that if we see a break from Demonical soon, it is not too out of reach for Whitecat here. Just about a 30k lead for Demonical right now.
Yep, and we're getting into the little bit more aim-intensive section. Has not caused too many problems for players so far in the tournament, and seems to be the case here as everybody gets through that one without any problems. And we are back into should be back into a longer stream section shortly now. And neither of these players are missing. The performance has been so good. The accuracies are incredible as well. And right now,
watching the 1000 combo line, Whitecat very close himself, but there's a break right there, and that's big.
Yeah, finding multiple misses, accuracy dropping 0.5 below Demonical's, and Demonical somehow manages to hold on through that really tricky stream, and is going to have a really sizable advantage now. The score already 100,000. Demonical does drop though. Now, combos are going to be pretty even, and Demonical has 100,000 points worth of extra score to work with here.
If Whitecat wants to take the point, and he really needs to, he needs Demonical to break multiple times. Just that one isn't going to be enough. He's climbed the lead back ever so slightly, but I don't think it's going to be enough to combo through the ending and still beat Demonical. He needs another break to come out from Demonical here.
I think so. It would have to be either that or some massive accuracy drop on these ending streams. There is one more tricky part of this map coming up, and if we see Demonical miss on the ending here, the score bar is going to go back over so quickly. The combos are big for both players now, so every drop counts. Any big accuracy drop will matter, but Demonical has only found 2 misses throughout this match, is going to look to hold on through the ending.
Demonical's aim control is looking so good right now, not getting caught up by any of those doubles. Those doubles are so difficult to aim if you're not prepared for them. But absolutely he is, along with holding that ACK advantage. Demonical's looking so good on this Nomad 2, taking it away, not breaking, not giving Whitecat the chance, and looking to take another breakpoint.
Yep, last stream. At this point, I don't think there's enough time for Whitecat to make the comeback.
There it is, a Whitecat break. Demonical, a second breakpoint. Whitecat taking it back doesn't mean anything now. Demonical again up 3-1, and it's his pick next.
Yeah, and Demonical has been granted a second opportunity to actually consolidate this breakpoint here. If he can find a good pick, not give the breakpoint right back to Whitecat this time around, he's going to be off to a commanding lead and only 2 points away from taking a victory in this match. Now that the HD3 is gone, though, it's a little bit less clear what Demonical goes for. Speed is gone. There is something like the DT4, could possibly be an option for Demonical, but not sure if Demonical is very comfortable on that kind of more aim control, gimmicky style DT pick.
DT4 does not exist. DT3 is DT4, basically.
You're right. I'm thinking of a different tournament. Don't mind me.
Happens. See, it's going to be Nomad 4. It's going to be your slider Amy pick in comparison to Hidden 3, it's a little more on the aim factor. Hidden 3 has a lot of tapping to it and a lot of flow aim. This one is going to be sort of wiggle aim control and then just basic slider aim.
Yeah, and this is not so far off the Hidden 3 pick that Demonical did win. And it's now without the added caveat of the hidden modification that Demonical does tend to struggle on. So I think this pick is going to look pretty good for Demonical, but honestly, I wouldn't say Demonical is a strong favorite on this one. I could see it going either way here.
Absolutely. And here we go into it. The map has begun for both of these players. It's going to be interesting. This could very easily swing back over to Whitecat, but Demonical so far has just shown an advantage in performance, finding an early break right there. Going to swing it over to Whitecat early.
Yep, map is long enough that the early miss shouldn't matter. Now, it is only 1 minute and 41, so if we do see any misses early on into the first chorus, those are going to matter at this point. But 40 combo behind, not going to be the end of the world, but we get into some very tricky aim control patterns now. You see those kind of wiggles mixed in with the tough sliders. Demonical nearly over aiming that slow slider, but does manage to hold on. Has been dropping quite a bit of accuracy though, and is going to pretty much even things out with Whitecat's early accuracy drops. And into the break, things are looking pretty even, all things considered.
Alright, dead even combos right now. And we're about to get into the guy here. This is where the breaks are going to start coming, and there goes Demonical on that stream right there. We'll see if Whitecat traces it out. This part is so hard. So far, Whitecat is holding on for dear life.
Yep, and has recovered the accuracy nicely. Has done a really good job of holding that combo since the break, and the score lead is so massive now. There's a big drop from Whitecat. But I don't know if there's time. The combo on the side of Demonical is only 100, and there's not much of this map left to be played. We've got about 10 seconds to go, and there is just no combo left to be gained, and so Whitecat is going to take the breakpoint right back. That's 4 breakpoints in a row now. Somebody, at some point in this match, needs to be able to take their own picks here.
All right, it's Whitecat's pick next, a chance to even it up at 3-3, taking away a lot of that early match advantage that Demonical got, which is a little scary for Demonical. Obviously, Whitecat, the higher seeded player, the kind of player that you really want that early advantage on, to have that disappear right before your eyes would be so brutal. We'll see what Whitecat goes with to go for that. We could see aim come out. Not quite sure until we see the screen here. Whitecat on the decision. We'll see what he goes with. I feel DT1 is an option, but Demonical, kind of proving himself on the DT pool already. A little bit scared if he does that, and there it is, Hard Rock 1. This is going to be kind of techie Hard Rock pick.
Yeah, it is going to be somewhat aim-focused, but definitely much more tech-focused than your kind of standard Hard Rock 1. It does have what most people would consider light tech throughout.
Alright, Whitecat already finding some struggles on Act, though. I think just, going in, tapping a little bit too early at the beginning, but stabilizing now. However, that is going to give Demonical a pretty big advantage here. You already see 10k in favor of Demonical. We'll see as we get into the technical sections how that changes.
Yeah, it is so early, though. You do tend to see any early accuracy drops kind of regress to, to normal accuracy as the map goes on, and you already see that happening with Whitecat back up to 95 and climbing very quickly. This is a little bit of an easier start to the map. The first big jump section is here. Okay, Demonical very nearly over-aimed that triple, but does hold on, so crisis averted for now. We have a little bit of a slow section before the next chorus. Demonical
Yeah, a
is...
little bit of a techier part here. No players falling down on it, though. Both players look very, very comfortable on this map so far.
Yeah, and there's not really any crazy tech in this map, so it does tend to be on the more comfortable side, and I would say the Hard Rock is probably going to be Demonical's second most comfortable mod pick, probably after that DT, so it is very capable of playing these Hard Rock picks as well, something I honestly thought we'd see Demonical picking at the start of this map, but here we go. Next chorus approaches, and the combos are massive. Neither player has found any misses. Accuracy battle so far, but I am very doubtful we're going to see 2 FCs, so it is going to come down to who finds the first drop.
Yeah, we're about to get into a harder section here. You already hear the build-up coming. You know what's about to happen, and there's a slider break from Demonical out of nowhere on the build-up. Right before a slow section, Whitecat's going to be... he's going to have the chance to build up the free combo. Demonical finding a second break to solidify it. He needs Whitecat to break soon.
Yeah, but these are not the kinds of picks that Whitecat misses on. There is still quite a bit of map to go, but Whitecat is just so consistent on these aim maps, is very good at the Hard Rock as well, and okay, there goes Whitecat. That's another slider break, but Demonical doesn't have much combo to work with. It is 150 the advantage, and that advantage is gone. Both players dropping on the stream, and at this point, it looks like it's going to be the point for Whitecat. Finally, after 4 maps, we see one that is not a breakpoint.
There it is. We are back even 3-3. The rest of this map really doesn't even matter unless Whitecat just disconnects entirely. It's going to be a Whitecat point here. 100k lead, solidifying it. Now we are back even. We're basically playing a best of 5 set here.
Yeah, and we're getting to the stage in this match where there's not nearly as many clear pick options available. We've already talked about the obvious picks for both of these players, you know, the hidden and aim for Whitecat, the speed and DT for Demonical. And now those picks are starting to run out. So we need to see both players go for much more coin flippy picks. And it's a lot less clear. I'm wondering if we see Demonical possibly opt into maybe something like either the No Mod 3 or another one of the Hard Rocks, if I had to guess. Could be the Hard Rock 2. Hard to say whether we'd see the Hard Rock 3. I think if we were to see a Hard Rock, it probably would be the Hard Rock 2, and it looks like that's going to be the case here.
Tsukiyomi Minaru. Precision aim pick. It's got its slight tech elements as well, just like the Hard Rock 1. Can be scary. We did see, you know, the Hard Rock 1 is a pretty good judge to see if you're going to play well on the Hard Rock 2. And with Demonical losing on the Hard Rock 1, it's a little scary, this pick. Really don't know, but we'll see here. 3-3. This is Demonical's chance to get himself out there. You can't have a breakpoint now.
Nope, giving up a breakpoint at this stage would be a disaster. So Demonical looking to hold on to this lead for just a little bit longer, and a big fan of this pick. While Whitecat is pretty good at the Hard Rock, doesn't really play a whole lot of precision, so I could very easily see this one going either way. Now this one is quite a bit... okay, there goes Whitecat with an early drop. But yeah, this map is going to be a lot easier in terms of pure mechanics. It is just the circle size that makes it a little bit harder. But most of the patterns are going to be pretty straightforward. None of these sliders are crazy fast, so most likely I think we're going to see players getting caught out on these streams, or possibly the aim sections. Sliders shouldn't be too much of a problem, but it is a pretty short map, so that early miss from Whitecat is actually going to be a pretty big factor with Demonical already out to a 50,000 point lead. And look at the accuracy from Demonical. It is so impressive, still holding 99.5 into this map, but there goes a slider break from Demonical. And 300 combo on Whitecat. The score lead is going to go back over so quickly unless he follows it up with a miss.
And it doesn't look like he's interested in trading out that break. Demonical's advantage starting to disappear in an instant here. Whitecat not willing to let it go. We're halfway through the map now, and now Whitecat has secured himself the lead. But there's a break right there. Demonical's going to be able to swing it back very quickly with the act advantage he had already accrued. Whitecat finding another miss right there as well. I believe that was a chain miss too.
Yeah, dropping
Demonical's game.
Yep, dropping so much accuracy, and the problem with the chain misses on score v2 is those will actually drop your score, so you can actually lose score on score v2. Demonical does find a miss, has built up a 70,000 score advantage though, and I'm not sure Whitecat has the combo to make the recovery here. Only time will tell, but it is actually going to be close. The score bar is going back over quickly than I thought. It is going to come down to the end, but I think the rest of the map is pretty slow, and it looks like Demonical is just barely going to hold on, able to take the point, and going to be up 4-3 now.
That was a little bit scary of an ending, I can't lie. But Demonical taking it 4-3. See where Whitecat goes next. We're starting to reach the point where no pick is comfortable, where any pick can go to any player. And we'll see how that turns out for Whitecat.
Does feel like the options are a little bit less limited for Whitecat, where I think it's tough at this point to find picks for Demonical. I could honestly see Whitecat being pretty happy for something, really any of the no mod picks. So the no mod 1 and 3 are still open. And I think it's very possible we see Whitecat opting into one of those two.
Just maybe. So you have to think very carefully at this stage in the match. It's so easy to make a mispick. It's going to be no mod 1 coming out from Whitecat.
Yep, and so this no mod 1 is going to be actually, for the most part, pretty standard if I remember the map correctly. It is slightly awkward, but not so awkward that it's going to be super uncomfortable for either one of these players. And because no mod 1 does tend to be more comfortable, I could honestly see this one going either way. You do have to give Whitecat the advantage on any one of these aim picks because he is just so good at the aim. But Demonical is also pretty good at aim overall. And this being more comfortable, I think we're going to see very high combos from both players on this map.
Yeah, I will say this isn't overly comfortable. This was more made as sort of a raw aim pick, so it has several types of aim. You're already seeing like squares and stuff come out, as well as big, rapid spacing changes here. Stuff that you don't really expect for a no mod 1, that still definitely falls in the no mod 1 category. Right now, Whitecat looks so comfortable. Look at those accuracies, 99.5 to 97. Whitecat able to hold a pretty pressing accuracy advantage early on here.
Yep. And what does tend to happen with a lot of these no mod 1s is, for the most part, both of these players are going to be relatively comfortable hitting these patterns, as we've seen throughout the map. But it is about consistency. It is very easy to find 1 or 2 unlucky misses on these chorus sections, and that will put you really far behind if that miss is not traded back.
For sure. And I mean, how often do you actually see those traded misses on these no mod 1s? Not very often. Usually it just snowballs, and we've been seeing that in the aim picks this match. Getting closer to the PI now. The accuracy advantage is still so much in Whitecat's favor. Look at that 99.85. Demonical just unable to match it. 20k lead for Whitecat just off of the accuracy.
But this is going to be the first real test of both of these players' aim. They're both looking good so far, but it is a fairly long chorus, so lots of jumps to go.
Everybody holding through the first PI is going to get a little bit calmer, not too calm. Breaks are still possible. Both players refusing to break.
Yeah, keeping things interesting for us. The second PI does show up pretty much right after the halfway point, and if you were going to miss on one of the PIs, that would be the worst PI to miss on. So honestly, if we do see a miss on the second PI, that could very well decide the match. And Demonical, aim is looking a little bit sketchy through this section, but does hold on to the combo.
There goes Whitecat! That's what Demonical needed. 1,000 combo to Demonical's name, hitting all the kick sliders. It's gonna go back in his favor, but Whitecat's wait, no, sorry, there was a banjo break on my screen.
Okay, yeah. Whitecat is still holding strong, so things are gonna be even, and we should have the next big jump section coming up shortly. We've got a little bit of a break, followed by a slow section, and then we get into the next very, very tricky section, and this is still anyone's game. I don't think this is going to be an accuracy battle. You will fairly see a miss somewhere at some point, but just hasn't happened yet, and both of these players are playing so incredibly well on this map.
But it is Whitecat. It's all Whitecat, 30k advantage, just off the accuracy. Demonical can't fight that. He needs a break to come out. There's no other option. Appdrops won't do it anymore. It has to be a break for Demonical to take the break point here.
Yep. Both players on. Okay, Demonical finds a miss. I take it back. And Demonical misses on the overlapping jumps, catches out Demonical. And yes, there is one more tough. Okay, there goes Whitecat as well, but already the score lead is 80,000, and unfortunately Demonical doesn't have the time or the combo to make a comeback here. I think if the accuracy was close, Demonical would have had the time to come back, but unless we see Whitecat find multiple misses into the ending of this map, the score lead is just too much, and Whitecat is going to look to close this one out.
Yeah, just that short period of time between the breaks was enough to give Whitecat a 100k advantage. Demonical not going to be able to climb back in time. It's a Whitecat point. We are 4-4. This is basically a best of 3 set now. Both players only have one pick left.
Yep. And this is where it gets really tricky, I think, for Demonical. It's really hard to find a strong pick. I honestly would like to see the Hard Rock 3 for Demonical. And I think Demonical is going to be really happy to get this far. Generally, going into these higher seeded matchups against a player like Whitecat, you expect to maybe get a couple points on your favorite picks, but generally, you expect these matches to end kind of, 6-1, 6-2 is generally what you've seen. So being able to go toe-to-toe with Whitecat so far has to be doing wonders for Demonical's mental. Some much-needed confidence gained over the course of this match, and we don't see the pick on screen yet, but based on the audio, it sounds like we're getting the No Mod 3 Dishonor. This is something I speculated as the other potential pick for Demonical, and I am a big fan of it. I do think Whitecat is very good at these kind of alt picks. Demonical is pretty good at them as well. And this is not going to be your typical No Mod 3. Often you see No Mod 3s that are a little bit more consistent and a little bit easier mechanically. This one is going to be a lot of very tricky flow aim, a lot of big zigzag patterns that are awkward wiggles. And I always have to caution at the ending, there is a very tricky kind of stop and go rhythmic pattern that does catch a lot of people out, but Demonical has kind of been falling apart at the start of this map so far. Finds multiple big misses, drops the accuracy big time, 8% behind Whitecat, and this is a really short map. It's pretty tough to act as well, so normally I'd expect the accuracy to recover, and while I do expect that to be the case to some extent for Demonical, I don't think we're going to see Demonical catching up to Whitecat's accuracy realistically, because I just don't think we're going to see the same accuracy drops from Whitecat to even it out. And again, because the map is so short, that 200 combo advantage is worth so much. Into the second half of the map, we do have a couple more tricky patterns, and then we get into the very tough ending.
Yeah, and Whitecat just isn't breaking. He isn't giving Demonical any room to work with here. Holding on so nicely, hitting every bit of these awkward aim patterns. Such good accuracy as well, 98.85. Demonical just can't catch up with that. He needs breaks from Whitecat, but he's going to find a break himself, and I think that already does it here.
Yeah, Demonical is really struggling on this rhythmic section. It is honestly deceptively tricky. The back and forths are so incredibly awkward to hit. Especially with the rhythmic changes thrown in between. It is tough, and we see Demonical not able to hold on to the ending, but that is going to be a full combo from Whitecat. That is so impressive. This is a really, really hard map, and Whitecat is just so good on these alt picks. Demonical giving up another breakpoint, and that is going to really hurt at the end of this match.
A point like this, you cannot be giving up a breakpoint. That was your last pick. Whitecat has the freedom to go with anything he'd like here. Super dangerous for Demonical. Demonical does not have a chance to make another mistake. Whitecat is up at match point 5 and 4.
Yeah, I think the one saving grace for Demonical is that Whitecat is kind of out of picks too. I mean, I think Whitecat can probably play every remaining pick in the pool to a fairly high level, but there's no picks that Whitecat are very clearly should have an advantage on. There's, let's see, there's the DT1, and there's the Hard Rock 3. I don't think we're gonna see. It's honestly hard to say. GT and Hard Rock are both fairly good mods for Demonical. Hidden Pool is completely gone. No Mod Pool, I believe, is completely gone now as well. So
yeah, literally just those two picks left.
Yeah, neither of them feel particularly good. I think based on Whitecat's skill set, I feel like he would be a little bit better on the DT1. He does have a very good aim. And I think the question there is the speed element, right? The DT1 is primarily aim, but it does have 250 bursts thrown in there that you have to be able to nail. And so we'll see if that poses a problem for Whitecat. And there's the DT1. I think Demonical could absolutely look very good on this pick, and this one could go either way.
Very much could. This is Whitecat's last chance to avoid a tiebreaker. For Demonical, this is his last chance to get a point on the board to guarantee a tiebreaker. This is really, really scary. This DT1 could, as you said, swing either way. We've been seeing both these players avoid it for good reason. Whitecat on the aim, Demonical on the speed. This is something that really works for both of these players. It's really scary at this point in the match. We could see nerves really come into play here, especially for Demonical coming off of that Nomad 3 misperformance there. We'll see.
It's going to be by far the longest DT pick in the pool, so may very well be a consistency battle, and the aim requirements are going to be a little bit easier just because the AR 10.3, which honestly Demonical and Whitecat are both very comfortable on, so it's going to be a non-factor this time around.
Yeah, I mean, Whitecat, one of those few players that can read AR 11. I don't think he's going to have trouble on 10.3, but we are going to see Demonical find a break. No trade from Whitecat. That's going to be big.
Yeah, significant combo advantage for Whitecat, but luckily for Demonical, it was very early on. You'd much rather miss there than at the halfway point of the map, so there is still lots of time. And there it is! Whitecat finds a really big miss. Now Demonical has about a 200 combo advantage, and if Demonical can hold on to this lead, that score bar is going to go back over the course of this match. Now, it's going to be slow, but it will go back. You can see already it's only 25,000 points, but this is really scary. There is a break there, and that means Demonical sees the score. Demonical knows he's down, knows that he's got the combo advantage, and that amplifies the nerves tenfold. You see Demonical finding the miss right after the break. I feel like that had to be a nervous miss for Demonical, and now it's Whitecat back in the driver's seat, but never mind. Whitecat finds the miss as well, and these two players are going to continue to trade misses. Whitecat has brought that score lead back to about 40,000 points with the momentary combo advantage. And now Demonical is going to have to work really, really hard to bring this one back. Yes, it is going back over. Okay, Demonical nearly missed on that slow reverse slider. That would have been a disastrous way to end it. But there is one more very tricky chorus, and that is what it's going to come down to. If Demonical can hold on through the last chorus, he will be able to take the point, drops hundreds on the stream, but holds on, accuracy even for both players, and here we go.
Both these players, such a scary moment right here. Demonical has to hold. Whitecat has to hold. There's a break from Demonical. We'll see if Whitecat trades it out. Doesn't look so. Looks like Whitecat might be taking this one away at the very end. Looks like he might have avoided the tiebreaker. Looks like Whitecat might have won 6-4 at the very end here. Demonical unable to do it, unfortunately. Whitecat's going to take it away, and that is going to be it. DT1 saving him at the end here, 6-4, where Demonical had that early match advantage and it just slowly dissipated. Whitecat was able to recover, play the long game, and that is going to be it.
Yeah, heartbreak for Demonical here on the final map. Was honestly one miss, one slider break away from bringing this one to tiebreaker. And I think that is really all you could ask for from Demonical in this match. I don't think anyone really expected it to be as close as it was. Whitecat did give Demonical a lot of opportunities, and Demonical was just so good at taking every opportunity he was presented with, consistently putting up very strong scores and able to match Whitecat on a lot of these picks, and even in losses, making the maps at the very least close. So very, very well played to Demonical.
For sure. That is not going to be it for our round of 16. We do have 2 matches left. One is today. That is going to be our 20 UTC match between Taquito and Zudinator. That is in about 2 hours. And then tomorrow as well, we have a match at 16 UTC between Kriller and MCY4. So please do stick around right here, youtube.com/@Corsace. We will see you in about 2 hours for Taquito versus Zudinator.